Hi everybody, this is Nikki from Educating Now, and I've had a request to show you how to use this number line generator that I've referred to in a few of my lesson plans. I find this very valuable for making up really quick worksheets if I want to personalize them. There's obviously a lot of online things you can use that are already created, but I find I want to have students modeling contextualized problems, and I find this fantastic. It's great for all operations with whole numbers, decimal numbers, and fractions, as well as you can just use it to identify decimals and fractions. So let's take a look. I do not ever use the background or the baseline. So we've got the divisions, and you can see here it's your first value and last value. So let's say we wanted to use this for decimals. So I'm going to go just between 0 and 1. You don't have to, obviously. You can go between any two whole numbers or three whole numbers. You are limited in this range depending on if you want to go into tenths or hundredths, because you only have so much distance, and once these spaces get too small, it just becomes indistinguishable and it's not very valuable. Now, decimals we know are in base 10, so I would not be using 6 as my division, and you can see here why, but I would instead be using 10. Now, you also might be annoyed by this M, and that was, I think, the person that requested. She said, I don't know how to get rid of the M. So that's over here in labels. So you can choose any prefix or suffix you want. The M stands for meters, obviously, and this is a really nice feature because if you are using this for contextualized problems, you can use anything that you want: grams, kilograms, liters, kilometers, meters, that whole thing. I'm going to get rid of this for now. And you also have the option of pointers. So the first pointer is in blue, and it's not displayed, and it was at 0. The second pointer you might have noticed when the first image was up, and it's at 3 and 25 hundredths, which is why you don't see it any longer, because we no longer have 3 and 25 hundredths. I'm going to get rid of that. But the arrows are a nice feature if you want students just to identify. So if I wanted them to, I'll click it back on just to show you. Let's say I wanted them to identify where 43 hundredths would be on that, or show them this arrow and have them know that that represents 43 hundredths. And maybe I wanted to do another one where it was 18 hundredths. So you can see here that you have those two choices. So the other section other than division, so this again is your start, your end, and then how many sections you have in here, and then you have subdivisions. So in this case, because there are 10 subdivisions, I can actually show tenths and hundredths. And this is really valuable to look at because students can see that A, hundredths are smaller than tenths, and that you've got 10 hundredths in each tenth, and therefore you would have 100 hundredths in your whole. So the other thing I like to do, you could just use these. Once you've got your number line as you want it, you just click download, and you can use any of these forms, and it comes up as a picture, which is really wonderful for just inserting into a Word document, because you can wrap text, move it around to where you want it, make it larger, smaller, etc. Once you've done that, I'm just going to pull this over so you can see it. You just see an image like this, and you click copy, and you're ready to go to paste it into your Word document. I also use an app called Patina, which I'd like to show you really quickly. And the reason I use this is it allows me a little bit more flexibility. I think I bought it for about $5, and I find it really useful for this type of thing. So in here you can do all sorts of things. One of the things I like to do with this is I want students to label this themselves. So this is an eraser, and I can erase all of these. I might want to leave something for them just to give them a clue, or get rid of all of them. And once I have it the way I want it, I just can copy and paste it into a document. It also has functionalities like arrows. So just like before, this one's a little more finicky because you have to be really careful with your drawing, but you can draw arrows and have students identify where those arrows are pointing to. And then, like I said, when you're ready, you can copy and paste it into a Word document. So I find that really valuable. And the other thing with this is you don't just have to use it for decimals. So let's say I wanted to use it for fractions. So maybe I'll go from 0 to 4. Now, if you're using it for fractions, you want to have the number of, I guess, divisions here matching here. So if I'm going from 0 to 4, I'm going to use 4, and that way I have these nice whole numbers as my increments. And now the subdivisions will be whatever fraction you want. So in this case, I have tenths, but maybe I want to look at fourths. There they are. If I wanted to do sevenths, there they are. Twelfths, etc. And it doesn't label them for them, which I like because I want my students to be paying attention to what are these and how do they know, and understanding that it's a linear measurement, so each space is one piece of my fraction. So if there's 12 spaces in this case, I would have twelfths. So yeah, I use these a lot for the decimals, as you just saw, and fractions. And like I said, you can start and end. You could use these for positive and negative numbers. So your integer number lines, all sorts of things. I have not explored these, but I would like to, and I will do. And if you're teaching the younger grades, 3, 4, 5, you might want to look at a clock face generator. And yeah, just if you want to personalize the way you're doing your number lines, this is a great little tool for that. So I hope this was valuable. If you have any more questions on how to use this or about anything else, don't hesitate to email. Have a great day.